In the John Fredericks National Media, great to have you. Just go to johnfredericksradio.com. Don't forget to participate in our first in the nation 2028 presidential straw poll. Just go to johnfredericksradio.com. It's right up there in the right-hand corner. Just click on it. You're good to go. It's a ranking. Takes a couple minutes. Also on my social media. So you want to participate in that. Got some interesting results. First in the nation poll. We're going to publish some of the preliminary results when we get up to 10,000, which we're very close to doing. So share it with your friends. Very easy to do. And we'd really appreciate you doing that. So thank you very much. We got Senator Rose from West Virginia all over the news trying to annex half of Maryland and Virginia. I can't wait. He's got it figured out, trying to get rid of the income tax. He's raising hell in Charleston. That's got a rabble-rouser up there. Place has been a little too sleepy for me. That's why I love having Senator Rose on. He's coming up. Now, in Virginia, which he's trying to annex, Southwest Virginia, thank you. iGaming, here they go again. Now, first we did the scam skill games. Now we're doing the scammy iGame. This thing is ridiculous. I mean, this is a bunch of money-grubbing thieves trying to just screw you every day. They're effectively trying to place a casino in every pocket. It's addictive. It goes after kids, the elderly, the vulnerable. This is just another state ripoff, a money-grubbing ripoff at the expense of the most vulnerable in society, and it causes addiction. It makes continuous spending easy, isolated. Families can't figure it out. Early impact also say that the Commonwealth of Virginia is going to lose $500 million over 5 years in education because it's going to take right away from their lottery, which is monitored, and you got to go buy it, you got to scratch it off or whatever you do. I mean, it's very different than you sit there on your car phone and you just lose, $50 in 6 seconds. It's just stupid. And you know what? Nobody's got the balls to stop this stuff. We got to stop this. Just like we stopped the scam skill games, we stopped those. We got to stop this too. The money grubbers out there, I mean, they're just unbelievable. They'll do anything for a donation. You give them donations, they don't care what they do. Why Mamie Locke is carrying this bill is beyond me. Research shows online casino gambling, not sports betting. Totally different. Sports betting is you got to download the app, you got to put the money in, you got to get vetted, you can only do it in certain areas, it's geocoded, right? They put limits on you immediately if you lose too much. I mean, it's done the right way. And it's not continuous. It might be during a game where you can bet a prop or something, but I bet a hockey game at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, games in Anaheim at 10. I don't find out the results till I get up the next day. I'm in bed. I mean, it takes 8 hours, not 8 seconds. It's insane. All you got to do is call the state senate. Doesn't matter who. Just say, hey, I want to call the state senate. Call your senator, 804-698-7400. Do it today because they're going to vote on this today. 804-698-7400 and say, we don't want iGaming in Virginia. 804-698-7400. This message paid for by the National Association Against iGaming, of which I'm a member because it sucks. Very horrible things going out, right? Can't stand some of these people. 888-480-JOHN, bunch of money grubbers. I tell you who's not a money grubber, who's on with us now, is my good friend, Senator West Virginia Republican, Chris Rose. Hey, Chris, thanks for being with us today.
Good morning, John. It's always a pleasure to be on. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're kicking ass. I mean, every day I get something from you. I'm like, was this guy ever sleep? I love the fact that, number one, you're trying to get rid of the income tax. So here's the impact that Rose has made, right? So he runs on this platform, no income tax in West Virginia. I'm going to get rid of it. So then we go to Morrissey, gets inaugurated. Well, there's a budget deficit and the numbers from the senator weren't right. And now he's in the Senate with his dog and all that's nice. And he's really nice, but we got this budget hole and we can't cut taxes. So then Rose is up there, no, we can cut taxes. And then Morrissey says, well, we can cut some taxes. Now Morrissey's saying, well, we can get to no income tax. How'd this happen in 18 months?
Well, first thing we did is last session we actually cut 400 million from the budget. So we came in with a budget deficit, arguably, depending on what side you look at it. U.S. Senator, former Governor Justice says there wasn't. The incoming governor said there was. So we'll sit down at the table and let's tighten the belt. Let's find some waste. Let's eliminate it, and let's make room for tax cuts. Because the only way that West Virginia is going to compete on the economic stage, I mean, yes, we have West Virginia energy underneath our feet, but the only way we're going to compete economically on a national stage is get to where Texas, Florida, Idaho, South Dakota, and Tennessee are. That's no state income tax. And he went from, like you said, very cautious that we can't cut taxes to now he's even saying we can cut income taxes up to 10% in just this session alone. And they keep going for more bites at the apple. Now, you know me, John, I have a bill in the hopper that eliminates all state income taxes immediately. But the fact that we're finally pushing this conversation to be had with this governor is very optimistic for me. It's very positive. And I think that in the next couple of years, we're going to be truly at a zero income tax in the state of West Virginia.
Are you driving the rhinos crazy?
Oh, absolutely, every day. I mean, that's it's actually one of the things I enjoy the most is the rhinos. They spent 1.2 million in a state senate race. I had 54,000. It was one of the biggest financial political upsets in American history. Very proud of that. And I was never supposed to be here, let alone be in Senate leadership. So it's a blessing every day that here in MAGA country in West Virginia that we have a MAGA Senate right now with controlled by MAGA Republicans. And it wasn't supposed to happen. The big money betted against us, but the people of West Virginia, with their values and what they believe, and with the help of Donald Trump, they blessed us with this opportunity, and it does trigger the rhinos every single day.
Well, Godzilla bet on Chris Rose. That was an underdog bet. Another one I won because I know you're a rabble rouser, and the people want to get things done. People are frustrated. The MAGA movement. We see it every day. They're not turning out because they're not seeing anything getting done. And so even though the economy's better, and we got the tech bros running around, we're losing our younger people. They want action. They want these Epstein files out. They want to see something done. You're doing things. Now, you got a bill in. Bill's hilarious. Okay, I just got to be honest with you. Every time I see the bill, I laugh. Not that I'm laughing at you or the bill. I'm just laughing at the fact that you had the balls to put this bill in. It's just because it's going to make everybody deal with it. So Chris Rose puts in this bill, and he wants to annex in West Virginia conservative counties in Maryland that are on the border, and of course the very conservative counties in Southwest Virginia. And his point is, look, you guys are not represented, right? You got liberal, left-wing, communist governors and general assemblies, and you have no Republican congressmen. Certainly that's what's happening in Virginia, except one. So you're not represented. And here, there's a home here. We can represent you. We can be inclusive. You can be part of our team, and your voice matters and your vote matters. And so explain that bill. Now, it really has no chance of passing the other state houses. But explain that bill and what your colleagues have said about it.
So what the bill does, it allows these counties in Virginia to vote if they want to join West Virginia. And if we pass this bill, it cleans up our state code to where we could accept counties from another state. So what would happen if it would pass? Now, granted, it's going to the Supreme Court if this was to happen. We know that. But if the bill passes, let's just say Tazewell County, Virginia takes a vote and says, hey, we want to become part of Best Virginia. Then our state legislature would probably come to a special session. We would vote to accept Tazewell County, Virginia as now Tazewell County, West Virginia. Then Virginia would probably challenge this to the Supreme Court. Now, the reason why we did this bill, we originally were going to do a resolution and then hopefully have the fights happen in Virginia and Maryland, which then that was a bigger uphill fight because you had to have the state legislature's permission of both those states for each of those counties, and then Congress would have to codify. But this bill is a constitutional loophole that actually happened in the 1840s and 1850s because counties changed hands between Ohio and Michigan and Nebraska and Kansas back then. So how is this different than the other way? Well, this is counties breaking away to join an existing state, just like it did in the 1840s and 50s. And this scenario we're talking about now with counties from Maryland and Virginia going to West Virginia. It's happened twice in American history, so there is a precedent there. Now, granted, it's still going to go to be challenged to the Supreme Court. Virginia's already told me so. But that's different than when West Virginia was formed, when we broke away to create a brand new state. So the Constitution is very clear on what counties have to do to break away to create a new state. But it's already happened twice in American history, and the Constitution doesn't exactly spell it out on what happens when counties switch from one state to another. So that's the loophole that's currently in front of us. And if this is ever going to happen, it's with a very friendly Donald Trump Supreme Court.
Do you have the votes within the West Virginia State House to get this passed?
Absolutely. So this is nothing. So this is the biggest on this is on the biggest scale this has ever happened. But West Virginia has invited individual counties from Maryland or Virginia in the past. This is the first time where we've invited 33 counties. So this is something we've done before as a legislature, offering an olive branch to our fellow mountaineers or fellow Appalachians, extending the olive branch of freedom. It's just this is the first time we've done it on this massive a scale, and we did it as a result of that November election. You see that Virginia is a red state. I grew up in southern West Virginia. I drove into Virginia to grocery shop, and we got family over there. Virginia is an ultra red Trump state that's being drowned out by the federal bureaucrats. The swamp grew bigger in the Nova area. These are people that are not native Virginians, but they drown out the voice of the people of Virginia who are true conservative, God, family, country loving Americans, and their voice isn't being heard because it's being drowned out by the swamp.
So it passes the House and Senate. Does Morrissey have to sign it, Governor? Does the governor have to sign it?
He does, and I've had conversations with the governor. He didn't come up with this idea on election night, but he was begging and pleading for Virginians to seek refuge in West Virginia, come on over and become a mountaineer. But I told him about this idea. He loves it. He supports it. He would sign it. And he would, even if it becomes law, he would advocate to get this on the ballot in some counties in Virginia.
All right. So you guys pass it. Morrissey sign. I think this is fascinating, and we're going to open this up for calls. One thing about Chris Rose, he loves to take your calls. He loves to talk to people. Where was that diner we met that night in Fairmont? Where was that? Remember we had dinner one night somewhere.
So that was that's been changed. It's changed ownership since then. That was shoot. I know the new name of it. I'm trying to think of the diner then. That was
It was a little hole in the wall somewhere, but it had a good
Mason
bar.
Jar. It was a Mason Jar.
Mason jar. That's right. That's right. We had there. That's where you get it. You order a steak and they serve it to you on a metal plate. That's what I remember. It's a metal plate and I think a plastic fork. It's like I need a real fork. So this
No,
is a steak.
absolutely. So the guy that owned that, he retired. So the Mason Jar is no longer in existence. It's changed hands now. But maybe we'll check out the new place there next time you're in town.
888-480 John. You want to talk to Chris? Okay, so give him a call 888-480-5646. It doesn't matter. You'll be in West Virginia, Maryland. Do you want to be part of West Virginia? I'm trying to get Ann to retire there, but I can't get her now to move out of the Washington, D.C. because it's now the most beautiful, safest city in America. So she won't leave. But one day I'll be there. All right, now, what were we talking about? Okay, so Morrissey's good. That's good. So then you pass it, and then what you're saying is every individual county, so the county supervisors would take this up, or would they have to do a referendum? How does that work?
Yeah, so we have a petition. We've been working with Gun Owners of America, actually, with a lot of the stuff that the woke radical leftists in Virginia have been doing. These gun groups are now coming in, like Gun Owners of America, National Association of Gun Rights. These people are now pushing for petitions in these counties to get this on the ballot. So a lot of the county commissioners, we actually have a couple counties that the minute this bill hits the governor's desk, they already have enough support to put it on the ballot to make this happen. And it's in the most southern western part of Virginia. Anyway, you're talking the coal fields, the gas fields of southwestern Virginia, who has already had from the previous administration before Youngkin, and now they know that their energy is on the brink. They know they're in danger, and obviously their gun rights are being infringed. With the action of that legislature. There's already a lot of support in a lot of those southern counties to put this on the ballot. So it's very exciting to see that we now have national groups like Gun Owners of America coming in and even trying to help make this happen.
So it goes on the ballot in every county. So you got 33 counties. They would have to pass a ballot initiative. It would go on the ballot. I love this concept. Folks, think about how creative this is. So you live in give me a county you targeted in Maryland. One.
So I'll give you Garrett County, Maryland. That's where Deep Creek is, and it directly touches West Virginia.
So Garrett County, Maryland. So it has a board of supervisors. So they would vote this, which they would because they're all Republicans. So they would vote this if they want to get out of the People's Republic of Maryland. It's like free at last, right? So think about how fun this is. So they would vote to get it on the ballot, and then the people of that county would vote whether or not they wanted to stay in Maryland, and be governed by, the basically the, CCP of the East. They would want to stay in Maryland and under the thumb of Westmore and the liberals, or they would go to West Virginia, which is, free. And so they would vote probably like 90-10, 82-18, right? So then what happens? So they voted, it passed. Now they want to be part of your state. Then what do you guys do? You just annex it?
Yeah, so our legislature would just vote to accept the county. So that's the beautiful part of this legislation. And it's based off the process what happened in 1840s and 50s. So if we want Garrett County, Maryland, our legislature would accept. Now, obviously, Loudoun County, Virginia, which they never would vote to do this. But the good protection is if they try to join the fun and come on over, that's deep blue. We can say that no thanks. Our legislature votes that one down. So that's the beauty of it, is that we have to accept the county that wants to come once they vote that they want to come.
So they vote in, you accept it. And then what happens? They're like part of West Virginia the next day? Like what happens?
As far as we're concerned, absolutely. But now, obviously, Virginia, I've talked to their Senate and majority leader and things like that. They're going to challenge the SCOTUS. And I said, well, I'm your Huckleberry. This has already happened twice in American history. I got a pretty good hunch with the Trump Supreme Court how this is going to go. So if you want to do this, I mean, we'll take you all the way to the cleaners, and we're going to give freedom to every Appalachian, every fellow mountaineer that wants it, because their voices are not being heard in Maryland. Their voices are not being heard in Virginia. And John, if we pull this off, there's already a greater Idaho movement out there for California, Washington, and Oregon, where people wanted freedom from those states to join Idaho. This is model legislation for if we pull this off, that movement will get momentum, that'll get steam, and Republicans will seek freedom all around this country, get out of these deep blue states. And I'm telling you right now, it'll give us more representation in Congress, and it'll also make it to where the Democrats probably can't win the White House for another 100 years.
See, you got this figured out. Now you're never going to get you understand you'll never get any national play on this, right? Because the libtards that control the media, the major media in this country, they see this risk, what you just outlined, right? If this goes through, and basically if you live in that county in Maryland, you vote in, you got to get your license changed and all that, registration for your car, but it's no different. It's no different than when you just move to another state. You got to go through the process. No big deal, right? So that's what happens. But this is a national movement you got going, and when the first domino falls, it's gonna be hell, man. It's gonna be all hell's gonna break loose. Everybody's gonna go crazy, and there's no way that SCOTUS is gonna rule against you because there's already a precedent set. You said, right?
That's right. It's happened twice in American history with Ohio and Michigan and Nebraska and Kansas. So I'm going to point back when this goes to SCOTUS. I want to point back to those two examples where this was allowed to happen. So we already have the precedent in the United States for it to happen. So it's full steam ahead. We're pushing it. And one cool thing about this, we introduced this bill, and now all of a sudden you're even hearing talks of DC being restored to the original square. And that wasn't happening before we pushed this. So, I mean, at a very minimum, this bill was a wake-up call and got people thinking, how can we get Virginia free again? How can we get it red again? So, yes, we're full steam ahead pushing this movement. But now you're starting to see that, well, wait a minute. Donald Trump could have restored D.C. back to its original square, which would also put Nova back into D.C. and also make Virginia red. So it's kind of exciting to see introducing this bill has kicked off this much conversation where we can now get Virginia's voices.
The last thing we need here in DC is to bring Nova in. So I'm opposed to that. I'm opposed to that as a resident and running for Ward 2 chairman. I want nothing to do. Screw Virginia. I don't care what happens to them. They voted for the communists. What the hell do I care? The last thing I want them is here. We want to get rid of the reason I'm running for Ward 2 chairman here is we want to get rid of home rule. Just let Trump be the mayor, right? Or like Rubio, put that on his portfolio with everything else he's doing. Rubio should be the mayor of Washington. So I'm opposed to that, but I'm for everything else. How long will you be in Charleston? How long are you guys there?
So we're here for 20 some more days. Our legislative session ends around March 14th, unless the governor extends it, which he can. But right now it's a 60-day session, and it'll go to March 14th.
All right, so I got to get there before March 14th, and I got to get on your calendar. We got to lay this whole thing out, and then we got to look at. I want to win. How can we? There's one Senate seat. It's in Fairmont, right? It sticks in my throat like a chicken bone. How do we get this guy out of there? How do we win that seat?
So the seat's actually in play. It's the most difficult one to win, but it's possible for Republicans in West Virginia. The voter registration is shifting our way. So what happened for? And I know you're talking about the one Democrat seat there because the other one's going to flip red in November this year. Um, so what happened is the Republican that originally was in the primary dropped out. We had a very late candidate put her name on the ballot. She didn't have time to campaign, so it was a delegate who had been in the House of Delegates for many years. A strong name ID is a Dem. He ran against generic R and only won by 8%. That sounds like a lot, but I'm telling you right now, if you have the right candidate with the right momentum, knows how to campaign, does all the grassroots door knocking, et cetera, that 8% can be made up pretty fast because you don't need to get all 8% of it. You need to get 4% plus one. So that's very doable in a state like West Virginia, where every day the voter registration continues to trend even more MAGA red.
All right, who's the Dem in there now?
So that is Senator Joey Garcia.
Joey Garcia, and who is? Because I own a business there, I got an office there, and it pisses me off that there's a Dem there. And who is? Do we have a primary candidate you're backing?
So he's not on the ballot to 28. He got in 24, so it's a little early for that. But we are going to be recruiting to get a strong Republican to run on the ballot in 28. You bet your life we will.
Sounds like I should move there and run, right?
I tell you what, John, it's there for the picking. It's there for the taking.
I live in the safest, most beautiful city in America, dude. But if you try to give us Northern Virginia, I'll probably go there. I'll probably move there. Come on. Don't you be? I don't want Northern Virginia. We're happy here. Everything is fine. No.
For the record, I'm not pushing the original square theory. I just saw that on Fox News that conversation has started to kick off.
Fox News too. Listen, I don't want anything to do with that. But I'm going to go up there. We're gonna map this out. Are there any Senate? Is the whole state Senate up in 2028?
No. So we have each state. So we have 17 Senate districts. We have 34 senators. So some of us are on the governor presidential cycle, which is every 4 years, and it's the election year for the president. And then the other ones are in the midterms. So I came in during the presidential election, and my co-senator, who's retiring, but his seat is up during the midterm. So half the Senate is up every 2 years.
What's the other seat you said we're going to win? Is that 28 or 26?
So that would be 26. So the incumbent, which is Mike Woelfel, is retiring. He's a Democrat in Cabell County, but former governor candidate and Republican Chris Miller is running for that state Senate seat. He's the only Republican in the race. He has two Democrats that are running to face him in the general. But I have strong confidence that he's going to take this seat.
Give me the geography.
Huntington. So that would be very west part of the state near
Marshall, where Marshall is.
Correct.
All right. I like Chris Miller. He ran for governor. I had him on my show a lot. I liked him. A lot of people didn't like him. I know business, this, that, his mom, blah, 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 family, blah, blah, blah. But there's been family going on in West. I mean, look at the Capitos. There's like 50 of them, right? So I wasn't concerned about that. But I liked Miller, and I thought he was a legitimate MAGA guy. People said he wasn't. I thought he was. Of course, I endorsed Morrissey, but I had no problem with Miller. So I think he'd be a good candidate. But I got to get up there. We got to map this whole thing out. We also got a libtard in Morgantown. We got to get him out. I'm going to get on the warpath. I'm going to go up there. I love what you're doing. All right, you got a caller, Jim in West Virginia, line 1. Jim, you're live with Senator Chris Rose. Go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, John. I just was talking to Tyler because I can't get the reception. I think lightning hit your station at 102.7.
Yes, you got to go to got to go to one of. Are you in Fairmont? Go to WRLF.
Grafton. You know my son Jacob and his wife Andy.
I just saw him a week ago.
Right. But Tyler insisted that I talk to you and Senator Ross, which I believe is from the southern part of the state.
Yep.
But I can't add this. I'm definitely in favor of bringing them over. I worked on the railroad after I retired out of the Marine Corps in Grafton. So he knows where Grafton is. And we get a lot of railroaders that come from Cumberland, Maryland, into Grafton that haul coal back to Curtis Bay. They're in Baltimore where the bridge, where the bridge was knocked out, the barges knocked the bridge out. Well, all those guys live in Maryland, not all of them, they're moving out of Cumberland area into West Virginia, like in Kaiser and all around around the Cumberland area.
Yes.
Because they feel like their money's going to Baltimore.
Right.
That's all they talk about is how Annapolis is sending all their money to Baltimore and down on the eastern seaboard.
Right.
And you can't tell the difference between those guys and the people who live right here in Taylor County, Preston County, Harrison County. And I welcome them as they're just good guys. I can vouch for them. They're like we are. They're just like us, and they think the same way politically.
You want to respond to that, Chris? You want to respond?
He's absolutely right. So, Jim, first of all, thank you for your service to our country. I greatly appreciate that. And every chance I get to tell a veteran that, I'll take the opportunity. But no, you're exactly right. These people in Western Maryland and the southwestern part of Virginia, and mostly part of every bit of Virginia that touches up against West Virginia, they all have what I call Appalachian family values, small town, God, family, country type values, and they would assimilate to West Virginia, very easily. They'd assimilate here very well because they share a type of values. They love, Republican conservative values. And these people, when they do come here, they call it almost heaven. They never want to leave. It's best Virginia, as we like to call in sports. I'm now calling it politically best Virginia. It's not even close, but no, these people from Maryland that move in here and people that move from Virginia, they don't look back. They move into West Virginia. They enjoy the freedoms they have, and they don't look back for 1 second. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to extend that olive branch of freedom because they're not getting a fair shake in our current states.
All right, Jim, West Virginia. Thank you. I saw your son and daughter. They were doing their taxes with a tax consultant right here in my office. It was a Saturday. I was doing my Godzilla wind show. I happened to go out to get the coffee pot washed out, and there they were. There they were, unbeknownst to me. So got a chance to spend time with your son and your lovely daughter-in-law. Jim, thank you for the call. You are correct. 102.7, I think it is. I was informed last night.
Yeah.
Kind of got hit by lightning. And so the assessment's going to take a week and to figure out what we have to do to get back that on the air. But you should be able to tune in WRLF, and that's going to give you the same coverage. I don't have the exact thing. Tyler, tell Jim, just have Jim hang on.
Okay.
Tell
Hey,
Tyler
John,
what the call letters are on that.
I want to pass one thing on to Senator Ross. What can I do to help?
Yeah.
I just want to know what I can do to help. I'm in Taylor County. I am now retired from the railroad. And what can I do to help? What does he need? Anything at all I can do to help.
Oh, absolutely. So if you know anyone in these counties in Maryland and Virginia that we're trying to get to, if you'll contact me privately on chrisrosewv@gmail.com, and I'll even go ahead and say my campaign number here on the air, 304-314-2656. I'd be very happy to get you a petition. And also, I'll give you contact with the Judiciary Chairman and some other people here in our state. Let's get this bill moving. Let's get the signature. Let's continue to build signatures in these states. Let's talk to their representatives. Let's talk to their county commissioners. I mean, we even have former Congressman Bob Good on this movement. He's even pushing it in the part of Virginia he lives in now. So let's just let's connect and let's keep this momentum going, my friend.
Okay, 314. What? 304-314?
2656.
2656. Great. Thank you very much. I'll do that.
All right.
And I'll hold for Tyler.
Thank you, Jim. And Chris, always good to see you. I'm definitely going to reach out to you, and I got to get up there. Let's just spend the day, and you can go over. Just show me all the maps and all the things that we can get involved in, because we have a lot of stations there. We need to get involved. I'll bring Brendan with me, and we'll get this figured out, who your candidates are. But I love what you're doing. I'm going to give you a lot of airtime here, because you're not going to get it from the national media, because they're scared, they're petrified of what you do. I'm telling you, dude, they're petrified, because you would get more electoral votes, you'd get more seats in Congress. They're petrified of what you're doing, which just makes me want to just get more involved. Whenever you can piss them off, man, I'm for that. And I can't believe you got Morrissey to go from no tax increase to 10% tax increase to decrease to 20, to now he's saying, well, there is a pathway to get rid of the income tax. So, man, you must be talking to Chris Rose. Chris, I love when somebody goes and gets in office and actually is doing something, right? It's great. You're doing something. I know a lot of people up there, you get them upset, You get stuff done. That's why I'm a big fan. So thank you. And we'll get up there to Charleston. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking
Wait,
forward to it, my friend.
people want to follow you. Where do they go?
So they can follow me on Facebook, X, Truth, and Getter at Chris Rose WV, or they can go to our website at chrisrosewv.com.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
All right, Casey Crosby, RNC, Vice Chair, is next. Has this been a fun show today or what? Plus your calls. And here's the thing. If you're listening to me right now, I want you to write the number down. 888-480-5646. 888-480-5646. Because Casey Crosby is coming up, and Casey is the vice chair of the Republican National Committee. She's vice chairwoman from Kentucky. She wants to take your calls. I know you're upset. I know you're pissed. I know you're wringing your hands. We just ask that you be respectful. But if she doesn't hear from you, she doesn't know what you're saying. That's why she comes on this show, and she'll be on in a couple of minutes. 888-480-JOHN. Stay with us.